Good morning to all of you. While we are in the computer or digital age, where there's strong force of women empowerment and involvement in politics, advocacy, education, media economics, market
Tumayo po tayong lahat at sabay-sabay nating awitin ang Tumayo po tayong lahat at sabay-sabay nating awitin ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Kayang magiliw, pero sa silanganan, alam ng puso, sa dilim mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, dulot na ng pag-ibig, sa manlulubi, di ka masisingil. Sa lahat ng bulok, sa silang at sa langit mong babang, may ginatang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang isang ng patawad mo'y talumpay na nagdiligid. Tuwing at araw na kailan pa may madilig. Lumalang araw ng 100% buhay langit sa piling mo. Ang higaya ng pagpay makahamit, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
God, we are your beloved. Even in our unfinished state, you take delight in what we are and what we will become. Help us to claim for our own your gentle leading in our lives. Help us to know you are always hoping for more for us and from us. Give us the strength and peace of heart to be filled with your power. Be with us in our discussions. Give us insight and courage to do your will with compassion and reverence as stewards and companions for the benefit of all. Help us to know and believe in the gifts you have given us. Inspire us to solve the challenges we may face and to take joy in our shared triumphs, both mundane and grand. In faith and hope, we trust in your presence and guidance today. Amen.
The views and opinions of the resource speakers does not state or reflect those of the company and the management. Before we start the forum, let us hear a message from OIC Director of DICT Region 5, Engineer Carmela P. Valencia.
Good morning to all of you. While we are in the computer or digital age, where there's strong force of women empowerment and involvement in politics, advocacy, education, media economics, market science, etc., there's still a gap between men and women in the field of software development. Computer science is primarily a male-dominated field of study. Women face challenges when attempting to enter the field of computer science. This barrier continues to exist when women are introduced to the professional field of computer science. Across this field, women may experience implicit bias and structural barriers for every career stage, including of critical junctures such as consideration for graduate school admission, recruitment into a laboratory for graduate research, consideration for postdoctoral position, recruitment to fill tenure track faculty position, and evaluation for promotion in rank. Despite the challenge, there are organizations such as Girls Who Code and Connected Women that offer women and young girls opportunities to be addressed and to understand the field, which aim to encourage them to pursue academic courses in the field and eventually become a software developers and engineers. Diversity in the field of software development, as well as in all others, help in attaining better and more efficient team. It is also advantageous that there is a balance or that there is enough women representation for that matter. It invites limitless possibilities and grounds for a more creative environment that could develop more novel ideas and feasible products. Women can do more than domestic chores, create artistic pieces, or thrive in political ventures. Women can also excel and be best in science and innovation in software development. Now, as we celebrate Women's Month, it is with great pride that I bring this message to this forum that talks about women involvement in one of the pressing fields of our age and to take part in the great course to impart awareness as well as encouragement to women and young girls who aspire to become their own innovators in science.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we celebrate Women's Month 2022, it is my honor to introduce an outstanding woman as our host. She advocates the development of ICT in Bicol. She believes that technology is a tool for economic sustainability in the region. And she strongly believes also in the involvement of women in computing. Let's all welcome the Provincial Officer of DICT Camarines Norte, Madam Eileen Leon.
Maray na aldaw, maray na aga, magandang umaga, good morning. Welcome our dear participants from across the regions. I am glad that you joined us this morning for Hello World Bicolana Software Development Forum. Before we dive deeply into the session, let me give some guidelines. On the chat box, you can see the attendance sheet. Please sign up. Towards the end of the session, we shall also be posting an evaluation sheet. Accomplishing attendance and evaluation sheet are both needed for us to issue a certificate of attendance. You also notice that the microphones are muted, so I encourage you to participate by raising questions on the chat box. We shall be answering your questions during the designated time for this session. For this forum, we shall hear views from our speakers regarding the underrepresentation of women's involvement in software development. Is that an issue still? As a backgrounder, software development is predominantly a male field. That, according to the Global Software Developer Survey in 2021. This fact is no surprise given the number of women graduating from computer-related programs this time. So why does underrepresentation of women matter in software development? It is because of the likelihood that a male-dominated team might fall into developing a product with gender blindness. I believe that there is no malicious intention not to design women-oriented products. But the truth is that speedy decision-making contributes to gender bias. Given the many decisions an individual had to make under time pressure in a project, it's not uncommon to fall into confirmation bias. With that being said, this Women's Month, the Department of Information and Communications Technology recognizes women who dared and are successful members of software development teams. Today, we raise them into the limelight. With me today are four career-engaged and empowered women. Our first resource speaker is Miss Senya Bracero. She has been an SAP ABAP developer at Accenture since 2019 for a multinational consumer company project. Prior to this, she was a SAP ABAP developer and support at Zwilig Pharma Asia Pacific Consolidated Philippines. Hence, let's welcome Ms. Senya.
Hi na aga sa inyong gabos. Good morning everyone. I hope you're having a good day.
All right, so next to Ms. Senya is Ms. Audrey Escobar. She's a holder of master's degree in master information technology, while her full-time job is a college professor at Lewis College. Outside of her 8-hour duties, she works as a software developer at Mount Business Solutions. She was involved in the deployment of several web applications in the region. So friends, let's welcome Ms. Audrey Escobar.
Hi, good morning everyone. I hope marami tayong mapag-usapan today.
All right, thank you. We also have Ms. Joanne Laksamana. She's a holder of master's degree in information technology and a webmaster for 8 years at Ateneo de la University. After her full-time job, she plays the part of a freelance WordPress developer, web developer, and search engine manager in Singapore, in some areas in Singapore, Canada, and New York. So let's welcome Ms. Joanne Laksamana.
Hello, good morning. Sana may matutunan kayo today. So thank you.
Yeah, I'm sure we will do. And lastly, and certainly not the least, we have Ms. Aliana Beatriz, a project manager at Mica Technologies Incorporated. She's significant in building the e-commerce platforms such as Community Mart and Handling. So friends, let's welcome Ms. Aliana Beatriz.
Yeah, thank you, Ma'am Eileen, for that introduction. So good morning, everyone. I hope that we can all share something valuable with each other today. So yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah. So thank you so much. That's our 4 panelists for today. In the first part of the session, I will throw questions to our panelists to begin our conversations. Then after, I will be reading the questions you posted for each speaker to answer. You may direct your inquiry to our speaker. Feel free to post into the chat box the questions that you would want to ask to our panelists. On the second half of this session is a knowledge sharing from our resource speaker, wherein each panelist will be given a maximum of 20 minutes. While you listen to their sharing, you may want to ask questions about their presented topics. We allot 10 minutes for you to ask questions after the resource speaker's time. So now let's start. I'd like to throw this question to our panelists. The first question is, what is the state of women's involvement in your software development team?
So for the first question, what is the state of women's involvement in your software development team? So when I started working in Ateneo, I was the second female on the team, and there were around men that time. We have different designations then. I am assigned to manage websites and sometimes assigned to application development as well. The other female is assigned to systems analysis. Two applications programmers are male, and then the other two are assigned to database administration, and the other is our director. So now we are growing. There are currently 4 women and 5 men in our team. So instead of 2 male application programmers, we already have female applications programmer on our team. As to the status of work, tasks are divided equally. So
Yeah.
In my case, usually I'm the only woman in our team, so web dev team. So I do most of the system design and web layouts. So I'm very much involved in the development of applications or websites in our team. So in our office currently, I'm the only woman. Pero last few years, dalawa kami, tatlo. But currently, ako na lang yung natira na woman sa office.
See, but in our case naman, in our company, women are well involved in our team. So yung direct manager ko is who happens to also be my mentor is a woman, and most of the people I've worked with are women. So most din ng project managers namin are females, and even our company CEO is a woman. So with this, actually I am grateful to our company because they actually embrace inclusion and diversity, which includes their advocacy to actually hire more female employees, just like me. And this is why I realized that women are very much welcome in IT, especially in our team. And because of that, I also saw how women in our team do their tasks well, and most of them are detailed and highly organized. So that's how women are in our team.
So hearing your experiences, it's good to know that inclusion and diversity, where women are given a chance to play a role in software development, is now being practiced. In the coming days, I wish that employers and managers would accept and appreciate that women can play a significant role as men do in this field. Yet the number is not enough. So that leads me to my next question. What factors do you see are affecting women's engagement in software development? Anyone?
So yun, for my case po, ma'am, the state of women's involvement in my team, I feel very grateful to be part of a team that is very open to having equal treatment and opportunities for both men and women. And to add a fact to that statement, same with Miss Senya, our company also started out with having all female as project managers. So we also have created a culture that encourages each team member, regardless of your gender, to step up and grow. So when I joined my company in 2018, there were only a few female members in our software development team. But as the company grew, we added more members to our team, and the number of women also increased. So with that, the factors that I see that were affecting women's engagement in software development, so it's probably the underrepresentation of women in technology. So in the past, we didn't really see a lot of women working in the software development industry, since it was very rare to see. So that probably made an impression to people that the software development team is probably male dominated.
I agree with Miss Ali kasi minsan yung women din hindi tayo masyadong nakakakita ng role model in the industry. So sometimes we feel that we don't belong to the industry, and then women feel low self-esteem and sometimes overthink their capabilities in terms of soft dev, because sabi nga ni Miss Ali, most of the men or yung field na to is mostly male dominated or predominantly mas marami yung lalaki dun sa field na to kaysa sa girls. So nagko-contribute din siya uh, into the factors na nakakapag-affect ng engagement ng women sa SOFTED.
So sa akin naman, personally, I didn't see software development as a job for men only. But maybe for others, it's because of their mindset that when you think of software development, they usually associate it with math, coding, or technologies wherein mostly men are interested. So another factor is merong misconception. For example, I know someone who is currently a freshman in IT. She's contemplating right now if she will still pursue IT because she has a problem with the application of coding. For example, during laboratory exercises. So, ang nangyari is pag hindi nila na-run yung exactly yung program, zero kagad yung point nila. Kahit alam naman nila yung algorithm for it. It makes them think that they need to memorize the codes or um, programming language syntax all the time. Another factor, for example, is in movies, programmers are usually portrayed by men. And also my teachers in computer subjects during high school are all men. So growing up, I get used to associating men with technologies. So I think those are the factors for me.
For me naman, I think the biggest factor here that we are seeing is actually the gender bias or gap, which affects women engagement in software development. Kasi, let's face it, being a woman in a male-dominated industry is not actually a walk in the park. So it's really hard. And from time to time, we encounter gender biases because let's face it, in the past, even in the past, women were portrayed as weaker and dependent to men. And because of this, we still often encounter people having doubts if we can do our jobs properly just because we are women. But I see that from time to time, we prove them wrong in our workplaces. And also, I see another factor for this, I think, is the lack of awareness or information about this topic, and which is why this forum is very timely to make our audience aware that there is really an issue with women, underrepresentation of women in software development. And I think a factor also is the low self-esteem of women, which may have started at their homes. Maybe in the past, when we were still children, we were told that we can't do this just because we are women. You can't do that just because you're a girl. So maybe, just maybe, I think it's a factor that as time passed by, when we grew up, naging factor siya why we see that this is affecting us in this industry. And truthfully, there are many stereotypes and unconscious biases around female software engineers that aren't actually true and aren't acceptable within today's society. And with this, everyone actually has a responsibility to stop any prejudice that they encounter, even us.
Yeah. So picking from your lines, I got the gender bias, lack of women role in the field, lack of women who serve as role model or a hero, or lack of women who serve as motivators are reasons affecting women engagement. Let me just give some views that when it comes to ICT, we often think of Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Mark Zuckerberg, Linus Torvalds. Yet today, let the public be reminded that we also have Melanie Perkins of Canva, a techno entrepreneur, with Melanie Perkins serving as role model. And by the way, in the local level, we have Dr. Didith Rodriguez. So with these local models or models that we have, I hope that we see a lot of women in the coming days to engage in this field. Now we move to our next question. So the next question would be, what possible solutions can you suggest to increase women's engagement in software development?
So, yun. In relation to what my co-speakers have shared, yung about sa awareness, I can see that lately there has been an improvement in raising awareness about women in tech. So I've seen more women representing big technology companies. So examples for this are women having major presentations in important events sa technology industry. So example for this are like Apple keynotes. Google also has online courses having women in their development team as speakers. So a lot of women in tech are also sharing their experience and raising awareness well in various social media platforms. So they are making sure that they are being heard. So this is a good example to all girls or women all over the world who want to pursue a career in the technology industry. So aside from that, I think it would also be better to raise awareness in the software development industry that it is not focused only on programming positions. So like me, I'm a project manager and I still belong to a software development team. So it would be good if mag-raise tayo ng awareness about other positions na not limited to programming only. So this is good, especially for incoming freshmen or any normal person that would like to start a career in tech. So you really have to find what role is fit for you within this industry.
So like what Ali said, we need to raise awareness. Awareness that software development is not only for men, and also awareness that not all jobs involving software development always include coding. Just to share, in college, I was surprised that most of my professors are women. They are really good in their profession, and it helps me a lot in pursuing my career. Learning from them gives me strength to continue with my course. They like serve as a daily reminder for me that women can also pursue software development. So another solution, I think, is to never stop learning, like attend seminars, forums, trainings, and we need to do more and excel in our work to prove our capability and to show others that women can handle big tasks or core tasks as well. And then once they see your output or capabilities, this will change their view about women. I also would like to encourage the students or incoming students that will take IT that software development is financially rewarding. Jobs are in demand. For us in the province, we can get a great paying job without living far away from our family.
Right, I agree with Ali and John. Actually, for me naman, the possible solutions that I could think of to increase women's engagement in software development, I actually have two recipients for these solutions. One is for all others, you should have a change of mindset towards female developers. How do we actually do that? First, we acknowledge their existence and we also appreciate their efforts when needed. And it is true that the more women we see in this profession, then the more we can empower more women to be part of it too. Kasi as you can see, not that konti, pero it's gradually increasing our involvement in this profession. And with women empowerment in this profession, we should be as one in this advocacy, because if only some of us are empowered, then none of us are truly empowered. And also to my fellow women who would like to pursue with this career track in the future, when you're at work, number one, ask for help, but also challenge yourself. What actually really matters is not what others think, but what you tell yourself with your actions.